Hello and welcome to the Harmony SMP. My name is Weird and Bearded, and we are over in the trading area because I thought I'd give you a little update on these shulker boxes. So this is where I'm collecting all the grey terracotta that I need. And as you can see, I need a lot of grey terracotta. I am up to 9 masons selling grey terracotta, so progress is being made. I think this is going to be my biggest bottleneck. I'm just doing this when I have free time every now and then. But up above, you can also see we have 2 shulker boxes. I have been paid for the staircase 2 shulker boxes of magma blocks from Rin. So let's find out what farm we are working on today. It's the gold farm. This is what I need the magma blocks for, so I'm going to gather everything else that I need. I think I'll gather everything that I need for both farms, because there's a gold farm, and then there is the piglin bartering. And then I shall meet you guys on the roof of the nether. So we have made it up to the roof of the nether. So this is our little entrance. If we head south a little way, then we should see our shulker farm coming into view, at least the nether part of the shulker farm. And then beyond that is the pork chop farm. But we're not going to be heading south for this one. If I head back and then turn east, you can see I've got the shulker boxes laid out. And we're going to be building around this area, so it's going to be nice and close to the entrance. But it's in a nether waste biome. We've got a crimson forest nearby, so I can get the piglins for the piglin bartering. Well, that is all good. So here we have our 2 shulker boxes of magma blocks, plus another one with a few more. That's going to get us 2 floors of spawning spaces. There are 16 floors in total for the build, but we'll just add them in a bit at a time. This is going to get us the first 2. Then we have a few more resources than strictly necessary, because I have changed some things with the bartering area. I didn't need to add any more, so that is all fine. And then we've got this, which is our sorting system for the bartering and just showing where things are. So I think that's everything. We'll talk about how they work once they're built. You know what time it is. It's time for a time lapse. So here we have it. There is the gold farm. We'll talk about that in just a moment. And then we have our bartering station. So the bartering station does require a bit more work. I need to slab off all of the blue ice, make sure nothing can spawn on there. Same with the corner blocks. But we'll talk about how this works in a bit. We also need to get the piglins in place. That's going to be fun. But first of all, let's talk about the gold farm. So you can see we have lots of storage for those nuggets. In fact, let's just see the piglins falling first. So if we make our way to the top, we have a spawn platform up here. No, an AFK platform. Those are the spawn platforms down there. And you can see that as I stand up here, there are zombified piglins spawning. And if I go into camera mode, you can see that they all want to trample these turtle eggs. So they're going to try to get towards the egg. We've got some trapdoors there that are open, so they just fall down. As I said, we currently have 2 out of 16 floors, but the rates still seem to be kind of good. We'll see just how good they are in a bit. So then at the bottom, we actually have a lever for turning on the crafting section of the farm. So the nuggets all go down into these hoppers. Normally the trapdoor would be closed. Then when I flick this lever, they're all going to spit out onto this trapdoor. You're close enough to pick them up. Now I have the item scroller mod, so I can do automatic crafting and automatic placing. So if I turn this on, then every now and then I just have to do Control C and it will craft all of my gold ingots and throw them out. So, let me just do that one last time to get them out of my inventory. I'm going to set up a little macro just so I can do that AFK. And then we will see how much I got from this, because I have been AFK for about the last 8 hours. Well, the crafting is done. We're still getting some more nuggets coming through, but I think that's just because we will still get the occasional zombified piglin falling down. Let's see how much we got. We're going to have some in the top and bottom chest, maybe even more, but I doubt it. Well, that's not bad. And pretty much the same up top. That is more than a double chest's worth of gold. That's a good start. So this will end up being transferred over to here. So this is the bartering station. You can see my vines are overgrown quite a bit, but I do need them. Well, what we do is we'll come up to the top and we put the gold into here, and they get fed down to the piglins. You may notice no piglins at the moment. So that's going to be the next thing to sort out. If we head this way far enough, and I turn my biomes on, so currently we're in the nether wastes. But hopefully before too long, we should end up in a crimson forest. There we go. A little bit further away than expected, but not too far. So all I need to do is build a platform out here so that stuff can spawn. I need to make sure they don't despawn, so I'm going to turn some of that gold into golden boots. And then, just going to transfer them back and forth. We'll get a minecart in here. And hopefully get 60 piglins up there. This is going to take some time. I think it's time to introduce you all to my new friends. So if we head up the ladder, we will see some piglins. If I stand where they can all see me, they'll all face me and go quiet, which is really eerie and creepy, and I don't like it. So we climb up the ladder. We can then climb up this redstone line. Look, I don't have the best path up here. But then we can split our gold amongst these chests, which we'll be doing in a moment. Then when I stand on the pressure plate, they'll all see me. They will all try to throw stuff at me. It will go along the blue ice path, down to some more path there, and go across all of these sorting systems, being pushed around by sticky pistons, activated by this redstone line from that pressure plate. So let's get this gold in. I want to get as much of an even split as I can. So if I take out this middle line and put it up top, then quickly figure out how I can split this evenly. That's probably going to be the best I can get. So we take a group of 12 from there, one row from that. I'm going to make my way up into the chest, and I'll come back to you once all of the chests are filled. I just heard a ghast. I hope that ghast is below me, because there should be nowhere above here for a ghast to spawn. But that is the last of the gold in place. I'm going to have a quick look around in free count. Let's just... I don't see a ghast below me. But there's no ghast here. And there's no ghast up here. I think we're safe. So now, I stand here. They're all going to be getting gold ingots. Hopefully, this works. Lovely. So now, if we go back into that free cam mode, let's follow these items round as they get spread out amongst the hoppers. Oh, this is looking very nice. Perfect. So then non-stackable items or anything left over goes into there. Non-stackable items get sorted into these two barrels, and everything else gets put into the lava. So now I'm just going to wait here for all of the items to come through. You'll notice that the pistons above have stopped, so that means that all the gold's gone. So now they've finished. So I can now step off from here. I didn't mean to make my way down that way, but oh well. And now we can start looking at what we've got. So we have 15 barrels for gravel, which are starting to fill up quite nicely. So this is obviously going to be great for concrete, anything like that. Then we've got a load of blackstone. Again, 15 barrels for it, which is looking good. Down the central one, we start off with some crying obsidian, 5 sections of crying obsidian. They're not going into that first one. I'll need to find out why. It might just be that they're going across it too quickly. And then the same again for regular obsidian. Then we have 10 sections for soul sand, as well as 10 sections for iron nuggets. I don't know why I bothered with the iron nuggets. We've got a really good iron farm on the server, but why not? Well, then we have string. So we can actually get rid of our spider spawner now because we've got a good string farm here. And I've got a spider eye farm from my witches. So we can get rid of that. The one I'm looking forward to is nether brick. So here I've easily got... Oh, not quite either. Gonna have just less than 1 shulker box full. I need about 55 shulkers of nether brick. to make this thing work. And then, of course, we have nether quartz, which I'm going to need some of. I need to figure out exactly how much. That's just for helping me make up some diorite. Well, that was a concerning noise. I've got some shulker boxes here. These are just some of the materials that I was using. I need to take them back to base next time I go. And then on this side, we've had to use wool to represent things. So we've got orange wool for the leather. We have yellow wool for spectral arrows. We have purple wool for ender pearls. And then we have black wool for fire charges. And then, as I said, the last two chests, which are already full with non-stackable stuff. So we can get some soul speed on the boots, which could be fun. I might do that, actually. And we got various potions. And that is the piglin bartering system and the gold farm, both ready to go. So I'm going to take some time to do some AFKing and just gather a load of materials, I think. I have been thinking about the nether brick situation and just how little we got. You can also see I'm in the middle of a crafting session at the moment. And I have been doing the maths. It's going to take me about 373 hours of AFKing at the gold farm to get all of the nether brick that we need. That's too much. So I've done a bit of a redesign. I've actually gone back to a previous version of this build where instead of nether brick, we used polished blackstone brick, which we get in much larger quantities. It's already in block form. And the amount of AFK time I need to do gets reduced down to about 38 hours. Now, what you previously saw was a result of a 7-hour AFK session. I'm currently crafting up the gold from a 16-hour AFK session, which means I'm already over halfway there. So I think this is a better solution. So I'm going to finish up doing that, but in the meantime, we are going to head back to the tree farm for a bit of an addition. And here we are back at the tree farms. And you can see we have a nice little path connecting our regular tree farm across to our dark oak tree farm. But it doesn't actually connect to anything else. And that's what we're going to be dealing with today. We're going to add this in to our rope bridge network. We're going to be taking this all the way across to the mangrove farm for a couple of reasons. One, getting the tree farms connected seems like a nice idea. But also, I don't want the bridges to all be going just in a big circle. I want to have some bridges going right the way across. So we're going to be starting, I think, here. So you can see I've got this evenly lit. So with the lights evenly spaced apart. And this one just happens to fit perfectly underneath there. So we're going to take it out a little way and use that as a starting platform, because it's going to be very difficult to connect to anything around here because there's so much redstone about. So we have a 5-block gap between the lights there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think we'll do that twice. That should give us enough space here to perhaps connect to things, although they're going to be quite steep bridges. But certainly it's going to give us an entrance point this way. So let's finish building this bit out. And then from here we're going to build a rope bridge. And while we've built a lot of them, I don't think I've ever really spoken about what I do. So if I come right to the edge, I'm going to take my coordinates and put them into a spreadsheet I have for making rope bridges. So I'm at -663, 30 and -9. I can then head over to the mangrove farm and take my coordinates at the edge there. And that's -493, 53 and -62. So this is about 171.5 blocks in a straight line. We don't want it in a straight line. We want to have a bit of sag. We want this to be a bridge. So let's say 175 blocks. That gives quite a nice bit of sag. It takes me down 6 blocks. And then I have a list of all the coordinates for a catenary between these 2 points. So a catenary is the curve of a rope bridge. They're very difficult to calculate, so my spreadsheet doesn't actually calculate the curve perfectly because you just can't. You kind of do an iterative process. So it's difficult to get it exactly right, but because we see curves like this all the time, whenever you see a rope hanging or a cable hanging or anything like that, we know instantly if it looks wrong. And I didn't want mine looking wrong. So I'm going to get this straight line connected, and then we'll see what the next step is. So here we have the basis of our bridge. This is our single line of full blocks. And I think I'm happy with it. So if I head kind of towards the middle, even the bottom of the sag is close enough to load everything up, and I go into free cam mode, I think this could work quite nicely. It's really long. I'm really happy with this. I have made some changes to what the spreadsheet says just to even things out a bit towards the edges. But now we're on to the second stage. So this middle section I know is 34 blocks long. I've already done the counting. I think I'm going to split this middle section into 2 bits of 11 and then make the middle bit 12. And we're just going to make that middle section out of slabs. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, then I just want to get some slabs in here. So let's get them into the offhand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then this section, I believe, was 16 blocks. Yes, indeed. So we're going to have the first 9 also be slabs. And I've also made edits to ensure that either side has a symmetrical number of blocks as it goes up. So I'm just going to do this for every level, just adding in slabs. In some cases, there may be stairs in the middle. I've yet to decide. But I'm going to get this in just so we've got a bit of a smoother path. So now we've got things nice and smooth, I need to obviously thicken it up a bit. And I think my plan for this, we'll take this section as an example. It's too wide, but it will do. We're going to go off by 1 and then out. And then we'll do the same on the other side. And now I've got something to build off. I'm going to have to fill in the gaps as well. But if we keep that consistent across the board, then I should end up with a pretty good start to the bridge. So I'm going to get that done. And then we'll be ready to put on the sides, I think. Something I forgot to mention, of course, is what we do when we get to these points, where we're going up a level. Well, of course, upside down stairs, but hopefully placed the right way around. So now that the bridge is in place, all we've got to do is get in our birch railing, light it up, and then we'll be done. But as it is, I can now walk to my tree farm. And I'm walking almost underneath the magic box. It's cutting across, breaking things up. I think this fits in great. Yeah, that looks good. Time to go back to some AFKing. Well, this episode's getting quite long, so let's wrap it up. As you can see, we now have only 4 lights to turn on. We got the gold farm built. We have collected all of the blackstone. We have collected all of the nether quartz that we need for the diorite. I've just got to get some trading done, build up the prismarine farm, and from that, collect the sand from it. And also, if we just run over to the edge, we now have our nice new bridge down there. And of course, that is definitely all I've got time for in today's episode. If you like the episode, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Weird and Bearded, and I will see you all next time.